joint. Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Erambai Ekadantine, Swanandavasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. So we were seeing the cosmos, all the Surya Loka, Surya Mandala, and all the planets, grahas, nakshatras, everything. And then how we also saw that there is a Dhruva Loka beyond Surya Mandala. Now we come to that that's still unexplored or evolving. So we will come back to our own solar, the cosmic, the solar system. And in the Vaishwanara, we saw that up to Satyaloka, that is Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Tapa, Janah, Tapaha, Satyam, Satyaloka. So all these lokas are there, and each of them correspond to chakras or the base. Bhur is Bhuvar Loka, Earth, Mooladhar. Then Bhuvar is Swadhishtan, which is the atmosphere, the Bhuvar Loka. Then Swar Loka is the Nabhi, the Manipur chakra of the cosmic Purusha. Then you have the Anahat chakra. So from Anahat onwards, they are called upper chakras, or they are called Urdhva Loka. Urdhva means going upwards. So Urdhva Loka, because up to Nabhi, there is a tendency to fall back. There is a tendency to fall back to Muladhara. That is why there is a cycle of birth and death. That is, we keep coming back and going this. So we just go up to here and come back. Only when we go beyond that, there is a possibility of going upwards. Okay, so that is Urdhva Loka is the upper spheres of the universe, of the cosmos. So Mudgalacharya is narrating this to Daksha Prajapati. So he says, beyond Dhruva, at a distance of 1 crore yojanas is Maharloka. Beyond Dhruva means Dhruva here is a North Star, and 1 crore yojanas is the Maharloka. Only the qualified sadhakas, that is in this Urdhva um, um, uh, Urdhva passage, you can say, in the Urdhva movement, upper movement above the Anahat chakra, we begin with Maharloka. Maharloka is the Anahat chakra, and here it is filled with sadhaks, the seekers. And only those who are Kalpa Adhikari can live here. Who are Kalpa Adhikaris? Kalpa Adhikaris are Siddha Purushas like Bhrigu Muni, whose lifespan is 1 Kalpa. Bhrigu Muni has a lifespan of 1 Kalpa. 1 Kalpa is 1 day, and 1 day in the life of Brahma, which is 432 crore years. 432 crore human years. Okay, so 1 kalpa is 1 day, 12 hours in the life of Brahmadeva. 2 kalpa means 1 day and 1 night in the life of Brahmadeva, and Brahmadeva lives for 100 years. So 1 kalpa, that is 1 day in the life of Brahma, is of 12 hours, which is 432 human crore years. A crore human years. So in this 1 kalpa, there are 71 to 72, 71, and it changes to 72 in the sense that there are transit periods between 2 Chaturyugas. A Chaturyuga is 12,000 years. That is, with 4,800 is the Satya Yuga, 3,600 is the Treta Yuga, 2400 is Dwapara Yuga, and 1200 is Kali Yuga. And between the yugas, sometimes there is a transition period. If there is a pralaya, or there is a significant event, then about 100, 200 years goes by just like that, without anything happening. So that transit periods are there. So there is a variation between 71 to 72 Chatur Yugas in one Kalpa. And in these 72 Chatur Yugas, there are 14 Manvantaras. 14 Manvantaras. And right now, we are in the Shweta Varaha Kalpa. Every Kalpa has a name. We are in the Shweta Varaha Kalpa. And we are in so now the fourth highest, and Vaivashvata Manvantara, that is Shvetavaraha Kalpa, Vaivashvata Manvantara, and this Purandara is a Indra. So here in this Kalpa, we are coming to the Maharloka. Maharloka, the fourth Loka, which is the Anahat Chakra of the cosmic Purusha. At a distance of 1 crore yojanas from Maharloka is the Janaloka. Janaloka, where Sanaka and other munis. Janaloka is what? Vishuddhi Chakra. And Vishuddhi Chakra, as I told you, was a collective. Collective means collective of all gods, where Vayuputra, Varaha, Vayu, Agni, Indra, Shiva, Vishnu, all their lokas are there. So this is the Janaloka, where even Sanaka and other munis, Sanat Kumara, Sanandana, all those Sanat Kumaras are also there. And these Sanat Kumaras and all, they move. How do they travel? They travel as an atom in a plane. Now, this plane is riding on the sunbeam, on the beam of the sun. Now, here we in our world, in Bhuluka, in the atmosphere, the aeroplane travels in the air. Okay, just blank. You can say they have a direction map based on the height above the earth, and which direction they are going. And they just have there is no traffic signals or something to know in the atmosphere where they are going. So then they have certain measurements on their board, on their in front of them on the board, where all the indications are given, how much height above the this they are, and which direction they are moving and all. So here in this loka, Janar loka, they move like atoms on the sunbeam. On the sunbeam, it cannot be detected by the human eye. So Tapoloka is at a distance of 1 crore yojanas from Janaloka, which is the rishis, the Tapoloka of the eternal rishis, Sapta rishis who are forever existing. This is Vairaja Deva resides here fearlessly in the Tapoloka. Satyaloka is 1 crore yojanas away from Tapoloka. So we have Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, and Satyaloka. Once attained this loka, Satya loka, we don't have any rebirth until Brahmadevas, all this kalpa gets over. Means 432 crore years are over, we won't have any rebirth. So this now here, when we are up to on Bhuloka, and when we are traveling up to Nabi only, when we are in our growth is up to our Nabi, that is, we are just filling our stomach, reproducing, and living like that. Till that, you will be going just up to Bhuloka, Bhuarloka, Swarloka, and coming back. Coming back in there to the to the cycle of birth and death. This will never end. Only when you attain the Urdhvagati, then only you can go to higher realms. So, and once attained, then the oldest residence is Brahma, that is in Satyaloka. Vishwanirmita, the creator, he is a creator of this whole world, of the Vishwanara or Vishwa Atma. Then the ascetics And dedicated brahmacharis, that is young Brahmins, a Brahmin who start studying the Vedas, who have dedicated. Who is a Brahmin? Who is a Brahmin? Not a particular caste as we know, we understand in our common parlance. It is Brahmacharite iti Brahma. That is one who walks the path of Brahma. One who walks on the path for attaining Brahma, the creator, is called a Brahmachari or a Brahmin. Is called a Brahmin. And the Brahmachari is one who observes, while walking on the path, he observes celibacy. He is called a Brahmachari. A householder is also a Brahmin, but he is a householder. So he will be engaging in family activities and everything. Then Vanaprastha, when you go to a Vanaprastha in a forest, means that is also a journey of a Brahmin, where he is totally engaged in contemplation and just living on bare necessities for just the fruits from the trees or roots and vegetation. And then you attain sannyas. Sannyas is a voluntary acceptance of a certain way of life for dedicated to impart the knowledge to others in the service of others. So when they are in the service of others, naturally they have, and also they follow certain discipline. That is, they wear a particular set of clothes so that they are not disturbed by society, so that the others know that here is one who is on the path of attaining Brahma, and he has dedicated himself to the service of society. So he doesn't have any other responsibilities in terms of family and other things. So it is almost like it can't be demanded, except once Adi Shankaracharya, when his mother told that you're attaining sannyas at this young age, I am alone, what will I do? He promised, okay, when you die, I will come and visit you once. So then he comes back after he was in Kashmir somewhere wandering. He was traveling along the length and breadth of the world, of the earth. I mean, of India. So when his mother passed away, He came and did the Kriya Karma. So even though he had attained sannyasa, he came and did the Kriya Karma for his mother because of his promise. So actually, they don't. After taking sannyas, you don't have worldly responsibilities. But Adi Shankaracharya broke that and he came and did the Kriya Karma for his mother as per his promise. So that is a certain responsibility you assume. Otherwise, there is a discipline to follow. You cannot, and you have to live on uh, begging for alms. Means you cannot store food with you more than for one time, or what they give you at that time, only that you can have. So there is a, and then you cannot, and there are certain types, I mean certain uh, you can say, like how there are gharanas, there are certain ashramas where, like, they can ask only in three houses for food. If first house refuses, he can go to second and the third. If the third house does refuses, then you cannot have any food for that time. So you cannot go to the fourth house and ask for food. So then there are certain groups of sannyasis where they can ask in five houses. So there are rules according to who has initiated him into the sannyas and what rules they follow. Um, in some ashrams they wear footwear, some they don't wear, some they wear only wood. So these are all disciplines which is followed by different saints according to their own sadhana. Um, so we have to live in chastity as a brahmachari, then live along with ascetics who are engaged in tapas, vrata, observe the austerities such as living one time on food or with no food at all for a certain for one day or for on a certain days of the week. Then siddhas, accomplished ones, those who have attained certain siddhis or powers. Powers, these kind of siddhis are, it could be anima, mahima, there are 8 siddhis. Ashtasiddhi Navanidike Data, Asavaradina Janaki Mata. We know that Hanuman was blessed with the Ashtasiddhi. So these are like some, you can read, you can expand yourself to a very big size. Then you have the power to reduce yourself to a very tiny. How the Hanuman, he just went into the mouth of the Rakshasi and came out. So just to fulfill what she demanded, otherwise she would swallow him. So he made himself so small that before she could open and shut her mouth, he came out also. So that means he has entered the mouth. So it is her problem whether she could eat or not, right? So just to so all these powers are there, siddhis, which these sadhu saints and all, or ascetics, use to escape from all these kind of problematic people. It is not to exhibit, or it is not to show your powers. Yes, it is, you can show the powers to win over an argument, or win over a justified thing. But otherwise, generally, it is to avoid problems. Avoid problems, or even a necessary. Now, Hanuman, he went and he brought the Sanjeevani Parvat. That was his ability. He was able. He had that much. He manifested that much strength in his body to lift the whole mountain and bring it. And the flying. That's also another siddhi. Flying across. Otherwise, normally he was just as a normal monkey, or a human monkey, human being. Actually, we can say there are certain arguments that this Hanuman and all were not the monkeys actually. In those days they were a certain tribal human people who used to keep the tail as an adornment, just like we wear chains, we wear garlands, and we wear chains of beads or flowers. And means the tribal people, they wear all kinds of things on the, even wood beads they make and then wear, or shells they wear. So in those days, that poonch, the tail was, they stuck to the waist. They tied it around the waist to indicate a certain power. Means a power of valor, strength, physical strength. So that was an. They said it is not a real tail grown from the body. It may have been an adornment. Okay, that is in one of the Hanuman books I was reading. It was mentioned there. Okay, so that is a part. So these are siddhis. Siddhis are extraordinary powers which a person can acquire through prolonged sadhana, mantra sadhana, and other sadhanas, pranayam, yogic powers, things like that. And then there are, and also in this tapoloka, there are people who are doing um, tapas, yajnas, or continuously they are performing yajna karmas, yajnas, and they have all ascended to become Brahma. All have attained the position of Brahmadeva, but they are in this loka, tapoloka. It is the only gateway that leads to Ganesha or Ganapa, who is just a being of light. Is just light, that light of knowledge, light of power, light of pure potential is is Ganesha, the Brahmanaspati, the Lord of all Brahmas. So beyond Satyaloka is a realm of the Virata, wherein anything which has a name and form in this world does not reside. So beyond Satyaloka, there is nothing. There is no name, no form. It is just an emptiness. That is only avyakta. Avyakta, or the unmanifest form of the Supreme Being. So then that is the unsupported place. And below that only is Satyaloka and all of that. So it contains only one form, that of Virata, may be considered as what has been described as a galaxy. So this whole thing, from Bhuloka, Borloka, Swarloka, all this is a galaxy as per modern science. Okay. So then beyond this Maharloka is the Shakti Loka. Shakti Loka. Now, sorry, the Shakti Loka, all these lokas are in this Jana Loka. Jana, that is Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahar, Jana. Jana Loka, that is collective Loka. In that collective where all Indra, Varuna, Vayu, all are there you have this Shakti Loka. Shakti Loka is the Loka of Mahamaya. Mahamaya, the Shakti that emerged out of Ganesha, who created from Ganesha created Mahamaya. So that is the Shakti Loka. And Nishkama devotees who worship Shakti, Devi, as Durga, whatever in her various forms, they live there. And they ascend into this loka, and at the end of their death and after death they attain this loka, and they enjoy the pleasures, all the amusements and etc., what is there according to their merits, and then they take rebirth. Then you have the Vaikunta. The Surya Loka, beyond this Loka at a distance of 4 crore yojanas. It is just like in this whole Jana Loka, there is a home ministry, finance ministry, this ministry, that ministry. So each of these have their lokas. Okay, all these ministers have their lokas. Panchadevas, Shakti, Surya, Vishnu, Shiva, Shambhu, 4. And Brahmadeva, creator. So Brahmaloka, that is Satyaloka, and all of this. Ganesha lives above Satyaloka, Swananda Loka. That is different. We have not yet come there. And there is also one Swananda Loka in Kailash. That is in this one, in this Swananda. Okay, we'll tackle that later. So in this, we have finished Shakti Loka, which is 10,000 yojanas and is populated with yogis, Shakti Devis, and so, including men also who worship Shakti. And Shakti is the deity who performs various plays here. Beyond this loka, at a distance of 4 crore yojanas, is Surya Loka. It is a ball of fire. And those who are Nishkama Karma, those who perform Nishkama Karma, desireless actions, they attain Surya Loka. And Surya Loka, um, uh, you can attain through Shukla Gati. Shukla Gati means when you die, at the time of death, if the sun is moving in Uttarayana, that is, there is a detailed description of Shukla Gati, Krishna Gati, and everything in some later chapters that we will do that much in detail. Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati is, Shukla Gati is when you die, when the sun is moving towards the Tropic of Cancer. And Krishna Gati is when the sun is moving towards the Tropic of Capricorn. And it is always the people who are knowledgeable in these kind of ancestor, the Kriya Karma and Pitraloka and all of this, they prefer to die when in Uttarayana. And particularly at sunrise and all, because they will attain Shukla Gati easily. If you die during Krishna Gati, you have to halt somewhere until Shukla Gati starts, until the sun starts moving in the Tropic of Capricorn towards the Tropic of Cancer. So you will have to be in some loka, like, what is that? Transit house. Transit house. Jesa, you'll have to stay somewhere, and then you have to do certain karma. Means benevolence. That is when somebody does karma for you, then you'll get to come back to the Shukla Gati. That is why we say that if we have done good in this life, then your children will do the Kriya Karma, by which you can benefit by Shukla Gati. Okay, some of that part of it is belief system, part of it is written in the scriptures. So then once you attain this loka, there is no support, it is imperishable, and you become resident there. So Mudgalacharya is telling Daksha Prajapati, so if you do bhajans of Surya and you have no desires, then you can acquire a luminosity similar to that of the Surya. Means you will become that Tej. You were talking about auras and all, no? So if you do that and if you pray to Surya, you will attain that luminosity. There, you will be literally shining like the glowing, you can say. Then its expanse is similar to Shakti Loka. Surya resides and performs kridas here, and he lives with Sanjana. Sanjana is his consort during the daytime, and Chaya is his consort during the shadow, during the night. This is the Surya Loka. Then, situated at a distance of 8 crore yojanas from Surya Loka is Vaikunta. Vaikunta, that of Vishnu. Vishnu, those who worship Vishnu, the Vaishnavas, after death, they go to this loka and enjoy all the benefits of their punya karmas. And they, once that is exhausted, again they come back to, they take rebirth on the earth. And those who want to attain liberation and pray to Vishnu as such, means when all these Ishwaras have the power to give dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Dharma is righteousness, life of righteous living, performing one's duties, nitya karmas, and all this. Then, second is prosperity. If you demand prosperity in terms of wealth, food grains, animals, or children, grandchildren, wife, and all kinds of wealth, dharma, artha, kama, all kinds of desires designed to attain fame, prosperity, lot of money, lot of power. So all these desires, what you ask for will be given by the deity of worship. So if you worship Vishnu, Vishnu will be the one who will bestow all these things, dharma, artha, kama, to the people. But when you aim for all these three desires, dharmartha, kama, you'll come back, take rebirth. But when you ask for moksha, liberation, then you may not come back to the earth, but you will stay permanently in Vaikunta until the kalpa is over, or until there is a annihilation. That is when there is a pralay, when Vishnu also gets absorbed. So when these Shakti, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya, Brahma, Vishnu, all these get absorbed, till that time you can remain in Vaikunta. Then after Pralay, once again, when the creation starts, you will come back and take birth. So Vishnu is Samabrahma, who is equanimous. He maintains the world, and he has two powers. That is, he has, from the left side is Bhoga Lakshmi, and right side is Moksha Lakshmi or Mukti Lakshmi. Moksha is generally, there is a difference between Mukti and Moksha. Mukti is freedom, Moksha is liberation. Liberation is completely getting out of the cycle of birth and death. Mukti is freedom from, temporary freedom from one life. One life means that is, you ask for death or complete this life and then go back, exhaust all your papa karmas and punya karmas, and then you come back again. So that's only temporary freedom. So Mukti and this, and so this is Vaikunta Loka. Then from Vaikunta Loka at 16 crore yojanas is Kailash. Kailash is Shambhu's place, Shankara. This Loka is without any support, devoid of infatuation, means total detachment. Shambhu is a personification of detachment. He is not carried away by anything. So, but because he is desireless, in that desirelessness, there is a sense of peace or happiness. So Shiva, those who are devotees of Shiva will ascend to Kailash. So those who are worshippers, devotees of Shiva, they will go to Kailash after death, and they will exhaust all their punya karmas, enjoy the pleasures there, and then come back and take birth again. So these are the different lokas depending upon your deity of worship. So there are Vaishnava. Everyone has a choice. You can worship anybody whom you want. There is no restriction. And in each of these Ishwaras have the power to give you dharma, artha, kama, moksha as per your desires, as per whatever wealth you desire, whatever you want. But in all these cases, you will go to the respective lokas after death, and you'll come back and take rebirth. There is always a rebirth. And even if you ask for liberation, it is only up to the lifetime of Vishnu, Shakti, Shiva, Surya. Up to their lifetimes that you can attain liberation. Ultimately, you will have to take birth once again, once they are born, once they are again, means when they go into the Turiya state, that is, they get at a time of annihilation, they are not completely, they go into the Turiya state, into the unmanifest state. Means all their powers are withdrawn and goes into the Turiya state. And then they get released once again. Just like how in a computer, everything goes to the read only memory, and also it goes into the certain the origin where is that is a source code. When that is why when you on the computer, first the booting part happens. The booting, certain programs are there which actually boot the computer. Then only it goes to the programs, that is even the operating system. Then the operating system comes, and then you have the random access memory, where you start the workplace on the computer. So it's just like that. Then you come to, so you finish Shankara. Then the expanse of Loka in thousands of yojana, Shankara is conducting divine plays there, and for Shankara, who is a Shakti, from his left side is Prakriti, his right side is Purusha. So he is Ardhanarishwara. Shankara, this is at the time of creation of the Loka, Kailasha Loka. There resides Ardhanarishwara as with left side as a Shakti and right side as a Purusha, Ardhanarishwara Shiva. And here, before even Shakti was manifested, before Sati got separated from Shiva, um, and then Sati was reborn as Parvati and Durga. So before the Shakti was separated, that Shakti portion, that is the left side, was Narayana. That is why Narayana assumes female forms like Mohini. He assumed female forms when that Meru Parvat had to be churned. He assumed a female form so that in order to prevent the amrut, that is nectar which emerged from the churning of the Meru Parvat, uh, he wanted to give it only to the gods so that they live eternally, and the because Rakshasas were on one side, Devas were on another side. So both were together pulling the Seshanag, churning the Meru mountain in the whole ocean. And from that churning, first what emerged was the poison, and that immediately it had affected the Rakshasas. Why? Because poison came out of the Seshanag's mouth, which was, and the Rakshasas had said that they said that we want the mouth portion to pull of that rope, tug of war, like how no that mouth portion they wanted. So they had to face the poison first, and then that was then consumed and held. Then they fainted and all that. Then they came back again to churning, means that poison was spreading across the ocean. Then they all prayed to Shiva, and Shiva came, and then he gathered all this poison from the ocean, and he through his mouth he held it in his throat. So that was the amrit. Then came the nectar from that churning of the mountains. So so that is what at that time, when the nectar was there, again now Rakshasas were fighting. So we also want a portion of that nectar. Why should only the devas have the nectar? Why should they only live eternally? So they were in order then, but the Ishwaras didn't want that nectar to be given permanently to the Rakshasas, because then they would also live eternally. then there will be a problem in the world. So what they did was, yeah, Nilakanta, that was Shiva when he held the poison in his throat. Then this At the time when the Amrut came, the nectar, they didn't want to share it with the Rakshasas. So Narayana assumed the Mohini, form of a Mohini, a beautiful damsel, a beautiful woman, and to entice the Rakshasas and take away that the kalash, that pot of nectar from them, and then give it to the devas. So that is why that he was able to assume the female form because he was the left side of Shambhu, Shiva. Then of course by the gods, because for Shrishti to happen, Shakti was needed. So then they prayed that Shakti come out of Shiva, and then she was born as Daksha Prajapati's daughter. And then we know the story, how she took a rebirth as after Sati immolated herself. She took a rebirth as Parvati. Then Parvati also, many times she did a lot of mistakes. She doubted Shiva when Shiva went to. There are different stories will come. Even Shivpuran, it is there. Like Banasur. Banasur says, come and stay with me to Shiva. You be my. He was such a great devotee. He was bigger than Ravana. So he said, Shiva, now you are my slave. You come and stay with me and protect me completely, forever. So then when such things happened, then naturally Parvati was left alone. So then at that time, then other Rakshasas attacked. So sometimes in such conditions, then she gets annoyed. So then she takes birth on the earth. So in that way, she takes birth on earth as Durga. So many times she is born in various places, in various forms. At that time, her names are all various names, mostly for killing, killing the Rakshasas, Aghoris, and all those things. So these are the three Shaktis of Shiva: Sati, Parvati, and Durga, who have in the life, you can say, in Kailash. So beyond Kailash is, after Kailash we come to Swananda Brahma. That is here, this Swananda Brahma is the Ganesh who was born as son to Shiva and Parvati. This is not the Brahmanaspati Ganesh. Brahmanaspati Ganesh is a lord of all Brahmas from whom these Brahmas have manifested. But this Swananda Brahma is the Brahma, or is the Ganesh, or the Swananda Loka, which is to the north of Kailash. In Kailash. In Kailash only, on the northern direction, it is there. So here, Ganesha is permanently staying because at the request of Shiva and Parvati. He doesn't go back to Swananda Loka. So we have the presence of Ganesha continuously, all the time. Then there is no Loka more stable than this. So Swananda Brahma is Swasamvedya, he is self-knowing, and has divided itself into four forms. So this Swananda Brahma was divided as Shakti Brahma, Shiva Brahma, Surya Brahma, and Vishnu Brahma. The Pandits mention that the union, Sanyoga, forms the Swananda Brahma. That is, the Turiya unmanifest states of all these four Brahmas becomes Swananda Brahma, or the Avyakta Brahma. Okay, so we have seen all these four types of Ishwaras, their lokas, and all these lokas are in Janaloka. That is your Vishuddhi of the Vaishwanara. That is a collective, the union of at the heavens. Their undifferentiated form is known as Swananda. This is the self-joy, Swa Ananda. So in the Swananda Loka, there are tattvas. Basically, they are based on the elements. All the primordial elements um, are living in this Swananda Loka. So in this way, we have described all the entire cosmos, the Vaishwanara, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahar Loka, Jana Loka, Tapo Loka, and Satya Loka. This is the Sharira of the cosmic Purusha. Similarly, in our own body, all of these ansh or minuscule, tiny bit, even it may be smaller than a sand, that is there in our own body. So that which maintain first is Surya is the Atma. The soul is that ansh of that Surya. Atma. Surya is the Atma of the whole Vaishwanara. But in us, it is there as an atom, you can say, or you can say proton, neutron, or whatever the tiniest part, you can take it as the Atma, soul. Then Shakti exists as your body, various qualities. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all the three qualities are existing in our body. Permutation and combinations of these qualities makes us unique personalities. We have certain sattva portion, that is purity, truthfulness, all those sublime qualities. Then you have rajasic qualities of activities, which are also there in us. Then you have the tamasic qualities, the lethargy, sleep, or laziness, ignorance. All these are also present in each of us in different permutations and combinations. Then you have Vishnu in us, who is a preserver, who maintains this body, all your systems, and the digestive system, circulatory system, all the maintenance, the juices, the vayus, the energies, all of is maintained in a proper balance through prana vayu, through the energy system. So that is Vishnu is present in your body, and Shiva is also present as destructive power. In our body, the cells keep on getting destroyed every day. Some thousands of cells are destroyed, die, and new cells are born. So this process, this destructive process or destructive element is also there in our body. Ultimately, at the end of our lifetime, when all our body cells fail in their energy power, and the atma itself gets destroyed. I mean, the atma itself is the body is unable to sustain that atma. So the atma goes out of the body. So that is when we die, when the body dies. So all of these Ishwaras are present in our form in one way of the or the other. Ganesha is present as the witness, as the one who enjoys everything in this body. The person who is experiencing everything is Ganesha, and he is the one who gives bliss, Nijananda. Nijananda continuously as a bliss, enjoyment that we feel when we do these various activities. So this innate quality is called Nijananda. So this is the whole description of Urdhva Loka. Urdhva Loka from Anahat onwards, Mahar Loka and above. So Urdhva Loka is the lokas above the Anahat of the Vaishwanara. This comes in the 14th chapter of the second Khand, second part of the Purana Upanishad, Srimad Mutkal Puran, describing the legends of Ekadanta. So with this, we have finished the cosmic Purusha, Vaishwanara, the chakras above the earth. Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahat, Tapa, Janah, Tapaha, and Satyaloka. From tomorrow's session, we will see the seven lokas or seven types of hell. Okay. Patal Loka, Sapta Patal Loka. We will see seven layers of the of different types of hell, where we have to experience the results of our sins or wrongful activities. So, with this discussion, let us try to let us get into a state of meditation. Relax into yourself, spine erect. See that your feet are firmly grounded, eyes gently closed. Bring all your attention from whatever you've been discussing to this human body, which is your personality, with which you identify as you. You have a name, you call yourself as of having a being doing so and so function in the work, in wherever you work. I am the CEO of something, or I'm an accountant, or I'm a manager, or I'm a clerk, I'm a carpenter, I'm a goldsmith, or I'm an astronaut, I'm a politician, I'm a TV personality, or I'm an actor. Whatever you identify is in relation to the activity that you perform predominantly to earn a living or with which you identify yourself. As an individual, you perform many other activities too, but they are all subordinate to, supplementary to your main principal activity, that is your guiding pole star, where all your energies are directed towards attaining success in that goal that you have taken on for your life, for this life, or at least for this point of time. So that defines your personality. This personality will vary, will change from time to time. It could be constant over your entire lifetime. So if we consider this our country, we have 143.6 billion personalities, crore personalities. So imagine this whole earth inhabited by billions of personalities, each fully functional, fully equipped with a mind, body, intellect, and soul. This whole earth is teeming with living personalities. And all are not entirely different. They all of us have many common functions, many common goals. So essentially, we all come under a small classification of maybe 12 archetypes, 12 classifications of personalities. There may be more classifications according to different schools of thought, minor variations, maybe 16 or more. But all these billions and billions can be put under a small number of categories. And most of us have characters which are defined by these categories or these archetypes. One classification is based on the zodiac signs. Another school of thought may classify it according to your character, nature. There is a classification based on your blood groups and the characteristics. So these are different classifications where we try to group the people for convenience, for understanding, and for being of help to each other. And essentially, we as human beings are social in nature. We live in coexistence, mutually supporting each other. So we have countries, and within countries, we have states, towns, cities, villages, communities, supporting in our functions. As individuals, we are responsible to the societies we live in. And we have well defined code of conduct, maybe that which governs us, or maybe that which is a common understanding by societies, by the people living in the society. And we mutually respect and trust each other to behave accordingly. We live and thrive in a society that understands these norms These protocols, you may say, of behavior, conduct, and for a smooth living. So, just as much as we as a personality, we are individuals in a society which has a personality, in a country which has a personality, the earth which has a personality of the Virata Purush, this cosmos has a personality of a Vaishwanara, and the macrocosmic personality is reflected in the microcosmic personality. There is this direct correlation. And when we want to rise up from the microcosmic personality to higher levels, it is by giving up our identification with the lesser personalities. It's just like when the rocket goes up, one by one, certain modules are burnt off to give a thrust, a push to the rocket in its upward journey. So we need to give up certain aspects of our personalities if we want to grow. I leave you with these thoughts. Contemplate on it whenever you get the time during the day. Slowly bring your attention to your breathing, to yourself. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Rub your palms together. Cup your palms. Place it on the eyes. Gently rub your face and open your eyes.